Are you headed out on the open road this summer? Or maybe you're planning to be a nomad and live in an RV for a while. You might be thinking ahead and planning to get a puppy for this epic time in your life. Dogs and RVs can be a great combination, or not so great. It all depends on how well you plan. In today's video, I'm going to review a few of the best tips on traveling or living in an RV with a puppy or a dog. My team and I did some great research for this video. We asked some full-time RVers, we checked in with some nomads, and we drew from our own experience of outdoor enthusiasts on the team. Meet Gracie. Gracie is loving the RV life thanks to her owner, Sylvia, who followed all the advice I'm about to pass along to you today. Now, we worked with Sylvia and Gracie in the private Facebook group and on our Zoom calls, which are included at the pro level of the online course that we offer. Okay, before we get started, hit that subscribe button so you can get even more great tips every week. Michelle here with How to Train a Dream Dog. Alright, I have a lot of info that I want to cover with you today, so I'm going to go kind of fast. I think you can keep up though. But if you feel like you need more, I can help you with that too. Just stay tuned and I'm going to tell you how. Okay, tip number 1. Research! I'm sure you didn't buy that RV on a whim, nor did you set out on the open road without a plan. Well, when traveling with a puppy, a plan is really important too. If you don't already have a dog, now is a good time to research what might be a good fit for the traveling lifestyle. You're going to want a confident dog who can handle a lot of change and new things. Some of that comes from training, but the lineage and natural characteristics of the breed are also going to play a role. Take a look at this video here for some great tips on picking out a puppy that's going to fit into your lifestyle. Now, if you already have a puppy, we can handle that too. Just stick with me. I'm going to talk about that training in a minute. Next, you're going to want to research the places that you're going. Did you know that some state and even national parks no longer allow dogs? The park managers have become concerned about how dogs affect the wildlife. So before you plan that epic adventure, make sure you know the policies on dogs, including some breeds that are not allowed. Next, I want to talk to you about desensitization and exposure training. This is going to be the most important part of planning for your journey. Now, it's much easier to create good habits and follow them than to fall into bad habits and try to break them. So, if you have a young puppy, now is a good time to start building those good habits. Then, like a muscle, you just need to keep working at it once in a while to keep it going. Now, how your dog reacts to new things is a habit, and you'll want to start working on that now. A dog who will be traveling to new places will definitely benefit from exposure training at a young age. I'm talking before vaccinations are complete. Now, if you heard that puppies shouldn't be taken out before vaccinations are complete, well, you heard misinformation. There is a way to safely and appropriately expose your dogs to new things between 8 to 16 weeks. In fact, for an RV pup, this is going to be a very important time frame to do this work. Now, after finishing this video, there are a few more videos that can give you some good information. Start with this one. Then you can continue on to this one, all about exposure training. Exposure training is not throwing everything at the puppy and making sure he just knows what it is. Exposure training is exposing him to new things in a positive and comfortable way. It's done slowly and calmly in a way that your dog remains curious but not scared. Now, when you're thinking about your training, you're definitely going to want to make sure that the crate training is going really well as all desensitization to the car and moving vehicles. Now, for traveling puppies, both of those are used a lot, and you want to make sure your puppy has absolutely no issues with either of them. The earlier you can start this work when your puppy comes home, the better. Although it's important to start early, that doesn't mean to go fast with the training. Going at a pace that is comfortable for your puppy will serve you much better. Now, once the puppy is settled into your home, it's going to be important to move on to some basic training skills that are going to help your traveling go smoothly. Now, these skills are things like leave it and drop it, leash skills for those busy campgrounds, recall, and being comfortable with other exciting things around them, like dogs and other animals. I can help you with all of those skills as part of my online course. Now, we teach them in a fun and engaging way that helps you and your dog build a great relationship together. In addition to dog training, the human will have to do some training of their own too. Now, you're definitely going to want to understand how to address fear or reactivity. like barking or whining or lunging and pulling. Now you're going to also want to understand canine body language in order to note stress or signs of being relaxed. Now with your travels and lifestyle, you're going to be in a lot of unexpected situations, and being familiar with your dog's body language will really help you and your dog. Remember when I said that you'll want to make sure that your puppy's comfortable with moving vehicles? Yeah, I meant the RV and the camper too. This is a whole new world to a puppy. But just like your home, it can be a place of comfort and peace if you plan it right. Now you want to work on desensitization of these things long before you set out on the open road. And even if these things seem ho-hum to you, to your dog, they are all new and exciting. I'm talking about more than just the RV itself. I mean things like gates and chairs and outdoor equipment like stoves, umbrellas, hammocks. Pretty much anything you're going to use is part of your exposure training for your dog. Now, if you can work on this before you set out, it won't be so overwhelming to your dog. The new location is already going to be pretty exciting. So make it easy on your dog by having a lot of these things already familiar to him or her. Now, one way we do this is to start with short trips. And by short, I'm talking a very short drive down the street first. Then you're going to go a little bit further with the next session and maybe keep going after that. You might start with your first trip being just one night and then return home to all the familiar things your dog knows and loves. Whatever you do, I want you to prepare for your trip or new lifestyle like you were preparing for the Olympics. Those athletes practice for so many days and years, it's almost impossible for it not to go well. So take that mindset with you in your training. If you're not sure how it's going to go, you should probably practice more. Once you're on the trip, I want to give you a few tips that might help it go even better. Know your dog's threshold for being alone and be careful not to push that. Dogs are social creatures and they like to be with humans. So asking your dog to spend too much time alone could create a negative association with the crate or the RV. Try to stick to a consistent schedule for your dog, which includes meals, exercise, naps, and potty breaks. Give the dog a place of his own to retreat to that's super comfortable. This is going to be a place where no one bothers him, and it's his signal that he wants some peace and quiet. Now, this could be his crate, or it could just be in a nice area that he favors that you set up. Maybe it's on the bed. Just be sure not to invade his space. I like to say, be an inviter, not an invader. Next tip, remember that this is your dog's trip too. Get out and explore with him as much as possible. If he's had some healthy exposure training when he's young and you've evaluated his temperament for this lifestyle, he'll probably enjoy all the new things. Okay, another good tip, just like you planned for how long you might travel each day and where you're going to park at night, also look along your route for good places to stop. Scout out locations that would be good for potty breaks, nice decompression walks, or some healthy fast-paced play. Don't leave this up to chance. These are important activities for your dog. Now, even if you have to research and you find a place just a little off the route, it's time well spent. Be sure to offer indoor enrichment activities too. These could be things like a frozen Kong, a lickety mat, a snuffle mat, or just games like hide and seek inside. I've got a few ideas for you in this video here. And this is actually something we talk a lot about at the pro level in the online course. Now I've got one last topic to cover with you before we wrap up today. Be sure to hit that subscribe button if you haven't done so already, because if you like this video, you're going to love some of the others coming out real soon. Alright, I've saved the most important topic for last. It's safety. From my research in the RV groups that I was in, I got some great tips, so you can consider them from the pros. Now, I'm sure you've thought about many of these already. I'm just going to go kind of fast over them for you. Now, number 1, travel should always be done in a secure crate or a seatbelt with a harness. Number 2, be sure to have a temperature monitor for inside the RV, so you know how hot or cold it's getting when you're away. Number 3, research the local vet or animal hospital and have their number in your phone in case of an emergency. Safety tip number 4, many people recommend having a camera for inside the RV so you can see what's happening when you're gone. Number 5, having a raised bed or a cot for hanging out outside keeps the dog up off the dirt and can help prevent insects like ticks and fleas. Number 6, light up leashes for nighttime outings are a great tool. Number 7, having a portable outdoor fence can keep your dog safe while you're enjoying time out in the fresh air. Number 8, have a dedicated notebook with all your dog's health and vaccination information. along with digital copies. Many campgrounds or even RV parks are going to ask for this information when you arrive. Number 9. Have a doggy first aid kit with you, with a few basic items in it in case they get cut. And finally, know the hazards of the area, which include ticks and snakes and predators and more. Did you catch all that? I know it was a lot, but you can always come back and rewatch the video for all the great tips. In summary, to make this experience great for you and the dog, I suggest you prepare for the trip. Evaluate how it's going by paying close attention to your dog's behavior. Reflect on how to make it better next time, and seek support if you'd like to make some changes but just aren't sure how. My online course has been a great resource of information for many people who are new to puppy ownership or trying out a new environment. And at the pro level, we can guide you in a very personalized way with a private Facebook group and 3 group Zoom calls each week. Now, we even have some traveling students who've worked through the online course while living in an RV. We help them out and we can help you out too. In the comments below, tell me if you are planning to take a trip with your dog in an RV. Where are you going?